So in a previous video I redesigned the intake on this forge and definitely made it get a lot hotter, but it also made it burn coal way less efficiently because this isn't really a forge so much as a giant fire pot. I'll explain that in a second, but basically I'm redesigning it.
Alright, so basically the way my forge works, if you watch the video, I have the bowl, so to speak, coming up here, and then I made a little drop down piece right here that used to just be a piece of expanded, and then I modified it and made a bunch of baffles and whatever you call those, diffusers, and made sort of like an intake manifold. And then it's just got a hose coming out the bottom going to my shop vac. Where I fucked up was I don't have any way, first of all, for the ash to dump, and the other thing is all the coals are just going to go right down into the air, which means the air is going to eventually just travel out this whole thing and it's going to become a fire pot. Since I have access to a plasma cutter, I might as well just fabricate this thing to meet my needs. And I'm no professional blacksmith, but I've learned quite a bit about the way this thing likes to operate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make more of a traditional forge style where it's got an actual fire pot and then all the intake manifold sort of garbage is beneath that. And then I'm going to have a ash tray sort of thingy that's just going to have a lid that swings out, a lid.
I like to do stuff like this in my head, especially when I haven't really written anything down on some scribbles on the workpiece. I've assembled all of my parts. The legs are already cut, but I know everything I'm going to need as far as what material I'm going to use to build it. Now I just need to assemble the parts, I guess, and put them all together to make it a forge. So I think the first step is probably going to be to cut this into shape so that way I know what the perimeter is going to be exactly and I can cut the perimeter pieces.
Assembled the sides of the table and forgot to record. I also did two of the legs, so I stopped just in time, or started I guess just in time, to remember to record how I'm doing the legs. So basically what I did was shim everything up, and I know it's going to be the same height, so like I said, it's not super crucial that this is perfect. Here's the sort of air feed slash ash dump thing here. This is going to be sort of the down pipe or up pipe, whatever you want to call it, coming down from the actual fire pot. And I went ahead and made this sort of little hinge here with a couple of washers and this what is it, like a long thread, I forget what you call this, but it's like a threaded, you know, nut that's really long, a long nut, whatever the hell you call that. But go ahead and weld the washers to this. That's going to end up being the lid for the ash dump, and then I'm going to have a big old counterweight on the handle. Real quick, I wanted to ask that if you're enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. Up on the bottom of the forge, and then this handle of gravity just going to keep that kind of. Alright, now before I weld this on, I'm going to go ahead and make the air control valve thing. And what that's going to be is I went ahead and bent some pieces of sheet metal around this so they're the same diameter. And I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that that's sitting up against it flush, and then I'm going to press this one into place as well, kind of pinch them, so that way I know for sure it's holding. Alright, so it looks like the air feed ash dump deal's working out just fine. That lever clears that, it can open completely. I got this little air control like I said. I also thought to put the vents on the bottom, that way when it's open you don't got a bunch of air blowing in your face. I'm building the fire pot now that's going to attach to the top of this. By attach I mean weld. This is all going to be welded together. I don't intend to make it serviceable really. This doesn't need to be, I mean everything's serviceable when you have an angle grinder. So there's a big ass gap that I filled with a rod. I'm going to weld the rest of that in with a stick welder and then go up. Well, there's a big ass gap here that I had to fill in with a piece of rod, not weld rod, but just like a piece of like bar that I use for RC stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish welding that with the stick welder and then go ahead and stitch up all these little ends of this flat piece. So just
Alrighty, well here it is. Got all the things welded up. It's a hell of a lot of stick welding. But it's all sealed up now, and ash dump works, holds the stuff in, close it, drops down under its own weight. I'll probably add a counterweight anyways just to make sure. And now I just gotta grab my shop vac and test and see if this does indeed reduce the airflow and not increase it when I reveal those holes. And we'll see if I need to redesign this or not. Plan actually worked really well. So, all the way open, you see that little piece of leather's kind of flipping around in there. It's moving, but it's not flying out. So when I close it, see that piece of leather in there flies right out. And if anyone's actually still watching this far, I achieved that by basically making a little mini shovel scoop inside of there to make sure the air evacuates out this way when it's open. Or at, minimum, whatever, but yeah, it's cool, it's adjustable. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful or useful or entertaining. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. And other than that, have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless.